again, it's nice that Rintaro, when something serious like this is happening, he is not a complete Chinibyo crazy lunatic that would get thrilled by this, because he is still a teenager, for Pete's sake. Like he sees something like this, I don't think that he can keep up that Chinibyo style for, like, at first when he discovers this sort of stuff. Maybe later he's gonna get so high on himself that he's gonna become all Chinibyo when it comes to this sort of stuff, but for right now, he is discovering some shit, and he is reacting accordingly, like a normal human being.
随分あっさり見つかるわね。セルンにしては脇が甘すぎる。
セルンが甘いんじゃなくて僕がすごいっつうか。
ダルは俺のマイフェイバリットライトアームであり、
スーパーハッカーだっけ？
ハッカー？
それでクリスティーナ、なんと書いてある？
This is in English too, so I have no choice but to rely on my assistant.
ちょっと読む時間をくれない？
Kurisa's eyes dart left and right across the lines. What in the world is this? And clearly it looks like maybe it's the curved black hole. Like, what am I looking at? Like, what is the legend right over here? What? So is this like this, not the sphere, but like right here, is it like the black hole? I'm not getting it right now. Her earlier reluctance has vanished. It looks like she's as curious as I am.
嘘。これ本当にタイターって何者なのよ。
何をブツブツ言っている？何が書かれているのか教えてくれ。
なんかはめられたような気がしてならない。
どういう意味だ？
ほぼ一緒なのよ。ジョン・タイターが語った理論の内容と。ざっと説明すると、LHC によって陽子を高速の 99.999991% まで加速して正面衝突させるの。そうすると10のマイナス24乗キログラムの質量を10のマイナス19乗メートルっていうとても狭い範囲に圧縮して押し込むことができる。
日本語で OK、産業で。
すごく狭い場所。すごく小さい質量。無理やりねじ込む。
That explanation is too vague.
その説明はエロすぎだろ、上皇。
Erotic?
は？どこがどうエロいのよ。
Oh god. You know, Kurisu, we have to apologize right over here, but apparently now we activated Daru's part of the brain that romanticizes slash gives things like physical attractive bodies, in this case like a tiny particle, I guess. How is that even possible? Giving a small particle like a physical body. Oh, wait, unless we're talking about the way she said it. Small mass thrust into a narrow space with great force. Yeah. Okay, that flew past my head a little bit there.
そういうマキセ氏もなかなかの妄想能力の高さじゃね?
I mean, technically, I was thinking about Daru's obsession with anthropomorphizing like objects into something erotic. That I didn't see that Kurisu's lines can be seen in an erotic way. Her blushing cheeks make her denial less than effective.
アホは相手にするな、クリスティーナ。続きを。
I mean, it is Daru's perverted, rotten mind that saw it.
何の話だったっけ？
So you don't have to apologize for that.
無理やりねじ込む話。
Shut up.
容姿の圧縮の話だ。
その圧縮が成功するとミクロ特異点ができるんだけど。
ミクロ特異点？ミニブラックホールじゃなくて？
意味はほとんど同じだ。特異点はいわばブラックホールの中心だからな。
このミクロ特異点が2つあるブラックホールを作るのよ。
A black hole with two cores? What? Like a cowlick with two hairs? No, I don't think that's it. Successful compression generates a microsingularity. Microsingularity, not a mini black hole. Essentially the same thing. A singularity is the core of a black hole. This process generates a black hole with two microsingularities. So when you compress one proton, it creates a microsingularity. And with the two protons becoming two microsingularities, because of the collision, together they create a black hole. It sucks that I cannot see the schematic from before.
擬人化希望。
はいはい。ミクちゃんとクロちゃんでいいか？
姉妹とか燃えるぜ、はあはあ。
ミクちゃんとクロちゃんは電子を与えると自由に操れるようになるのよ。
So can you just not humor him that much?
電気ショックで拷問か。それなんてエロゲ？
Oh my god. Short for erotic game. Games with erotic content.
操作できるようになった2人を超高速回転させるの。
Oh my god.
すると理論的にミクちゃんとクロちゃんは2人とも魔法少女リング上特異点に変身する。
変身バンクですね。わかります。
Well, it looks like these two have found a common wavelength, I guess.
これでカーブラックホール効果が生まれることになる。
The resulting black hole exhibits what's called a
そもそもカーブラックホールって何ぞ？さっき回転しているって言ってたけど。
そのままの意味。
でもブラックホールって普通回転してんじゃね？穴に向かって渦巻いてるじゃん。
その回転してるように見える部分はブラックホールに吸い込まれつつある周囲の物質でしかない。普通のブラックホールは超質量により重力崩壊を起こした中心点があるだけ。そこに向かってあらゆるものが落ちていってるの。それは点っていうぐらいだから回転はしてない。一方のカーブラックホールはさっき言った通り中心が点じゃなくてリング状なのよ。
A ring at its center.
ミクちゃんとクロちゃんは普通の人間ではありえないことに魔法少女化すると心臓が体内でぐるぐるとリング状に回転してるって考えて。
Huh. Spin like a ring.
グロは勘弁だお。
助手よ、お前はさっきこう言ったな。カーブラックホールは実在したとしても証明しようがないと。それはどういう意味だ？
ブラックホールにはイベントホライゾンというものがある。この内側に入ると時間と空間の役割が入れ替わってしまうわけで。
時間と空間の役割が入れ替わる？
Yeah. Wasn't it that I quoted like Event Horizon? Which, by the way, I gave that example like early in the story about the piece of paper that you fold and then you pierce through it with a pen, and that would be like the equivalent of a wormhole. I think I said the example wrong. I think I like it wasn't like Alien. I was thinking of Event Horizon right over here, like the movie. with Lawrence Fishburne, was it? The guy that played the Morpheus in The Matrix? I think so. Also known as the Schwarzschild surface. In a black hole, there exists a point beyond which even light can no longer escape the black hole's immense gravity. This boundary is called the event horizon. Because light and other electromagnetic waves are responsible for conveying information, nothing that occurs within the event horizon can be observed from the outside. The center of a black hole is black because no light can escape from it. Stock transformation scene. Refers to the transformation sequence in Henshin Hero and Magical Girl anime. Since stock transformation scenes are used in nearly every episode, their animation is done independently in advance. As a result, the production quality is often higher than that of the rest of the anime.
私たちは今、空間を自由に移動できるけど、時間を1分過去に戻すことはできない。それが入れ替わるのよ。イベントホライゾンの向こう側だと、空間の移動は不可能になり、逆に時間を移動可能になる。
While moving freely through time becomes possible. Interesting way of viewing it. Because in space, we can move wherever we want, but time will always move forward no matter what. No matter what we do. We cannot do anything about it. But if it's reversed, I guess we just cannot move, but somehow we can actually control time? Is that what you're trying to say right over here? I mean, we are trying to develop time machines because of that idea. That's the point. But, I can't even imagine what that's like. Yeah, what does it mean to move freely through time? Besides time machine-wise, like traveling through time.
空間の移動が不可能だから、ブラックホールからの再脱出はできないと言える。例えば、岡部がブラックホールに突入した場合に体験するのは、永遠に引き伸ばされた時間なの。
Okay, there's that.
光が再脱出不可能ということは、人の目にはどうやったってイベントホライゾンの向こう側は見ることができない。
Time would stretch to infinity. So would that imply that from our perspective right over here outside the black hole in Event Horizon, if we were to shove Okabe into the black hole, they will be frozen in time? If you're talking about stretching that time.
観測も証明も不可能。
Well, I think that is the point. In fact, I think I even talked about this before. Because if you were to freeze Okabe in time, say like 1 second inside, that 1 second, if we were to manage to pull him back, like into our world, for him it would last like 1 second, but to us, he spent like 10 years, 20 years, 100 years inside that black hole. Like that would be the point of us trying to use like the time machine in order to go into the future. The past, that's a completely different story. I don't know. Because I think that Kurisu talked about this, about how the black hole would be used to go back in time using black holes, but I don't know. I don't remember it. I think I wrote it somewhere in my notepad, how that works. Like, be put like a minus somewhere. I don't know.
ただし、例外もある。タイムトラベルにカーブラックホールを使う場合、この例外こそが重要なのよ。
もったいぶらずに教えてもらおうか。
カーブラックホールは特異点。中心が回転してるわけだから、核運動量が存在する。
Since it's spinning, it has an angular momentum. Ring singularity. The ring is spinning. It has an angular momentum.
だから日本語でオケだって。
中心点が回転してるってさっき説明したでしょ。その回転運動量って思えばいい。ミクちゃんとクロちゃんに電子を与え続けると自由に操ることができるわけだけど。
Okay, I do have to ask. In what way does it spin? Does it spin perfectly, or does it spin... How do I even describe this? Like, I don't know how to describe this scientifically, like, I'm sorry. Or mathematically. Say you put like a ring, like a finger ring, like on the table, and you spin it around, like perfectly perpendicular. Is it like that? Or is it like if you were to just grab a coin and flip it in the air, like, would it spin like that? Like randomly? Like, which one is it?
カーブラックホールの特徴は核運動量が質量を上回るとイベントホライゾンがなくなって特異点が裸の状態になること。
The event horizon will disappear and the singularity will become a naked singularity. The singularity is usually concealed by its event horizon. Yeah, which renders observation impossible. A naked singularity is a singularity whose event horizon has been removed. So, that will mean that we can observe it. It can therefore be observed and even traveled through. The existence of naked singularities is purely theoretical. So, okay, we can observe it, but would that mean that we can also go inside the black hole and back without any difficulties as well? Because the point of event horizon is that if we were to go through it, it would be impossible to go back. But if we had a naked singularity, I guess that would solve the problem. We can use like black holes for time traveling. Because if we were to use it in equivalent of sending somebody into a black hole, they need to escape that black hole in order to reach the destination that we want in time, whether in the future or the past. Otherwise, we'd send somebody through the time machine and they just disappear forever.
は裸だと魔法少女のコスチュームは露出度高えというわけですな。これアニメ化まだ
Daro. Kurisuna ignored Daro's nonsense.
裸になることで観測不可能だったものが観測可能になるわけか。
イベントホライゾンがなくなることで時間と空間の役割が入れ替わる必要はなくなった。裸の特異点に向けてその入れ替わりを回避して突入できるようになる。そして裸の特異点の存在は一般相対性理論と因果律を破綻させるわ。宇宙の法則が乱れるのよ。
そんなもの存在できるのか。
The negation of the theory of relativity and the principle of causality means serious paradoxes can occur. Didn't Chrisu say that earlier? Hmm.
これまでも存在する可能性は高いと予測されていた。矛盾するようだけど証明はされてる。因果律が破綻してるわけだから、その裸の特異点に突入すれば過去へ遡ることができる。
Yes. John Titor said the same thing. So Titor's time machine is using CERN's technology. But Titor's time machine was compact, small enough to fit into a car. The LHC is 27 kilometers long, but they managed to get it down to travel size in just 24 years.
わからないのは特異点に電子を注入する部分ね。見て、この LHC の写真だけど、陽子衝突地点に妙な機器が設置されてる。リフターっていう名前で呼ばれてるみたいだけど、一体何のことだか。
ダル、聞いたことは？
リフター。さっきの Z プログラムにもちらっと出てきたよな。ググってみる？
Daru opens up a browser window and enters Lifter into a search engine.
おお、ヒットしてるし。
About 422,000 results.
こんなに？機密でも何でもないのかな？
もしかしてこれじゃないか？イオンクラフト。
イオン、つまり電荷を持った原子や分子のことね。意味としては一致する。
We click on a link that says Ionocraft Lifter. It takes us to a video. Lifter technology, demonstration and explanation. Looks like some dim garage. But it doesn't seem like anything secretive. Just a garage like you'd see in an average American home. At the center of the screen there's a triangular shape made of some kind of metal. It looks about 10 centimeters high and about 30 centimeters wide. It's connected to some sort of generator by a thin wire. Looks like some really cheap equipment. And that's all there is. Nothing else. After explaining something in some language I don't understand, Russian maybe? The person filming the video slowly turns the power on. And then,
あ、浮いた。
the silvery triangle floats soundlessly into the air. Then it remains stationary.
反重力装置だと。
そんなのあるわけない。あったら世紀の大発見よ。イオンクラフトっていうぐらいだから、この場合帯電した空気と電極が関係してるんだと思う。
Karisu doesn't sound as confident as she usually does. We look up information on the Ionocraft lifter. Lots of sites have detailed instructions on how to make lifters, but I don't know how they work since the sites all give conflicting theories.
そのリフターにセルンが目をつけた。そしてタイムトラベルに必要な装置として組み込んでいる。ミクロ特異点の質量や重力場を操作できるとなれば、やはりこれは反重力装置ということだろう。
まあそういう限定的条件に当てはめるなら間違いじゃないかもしれないけど。
Incredible. My curiosity is growing more by the second.
でもセルンはこのリフターの調整に苦労してるみたいね。ミクロ特異点の重力調整がうまくできていない。だから完全な裸の特異点を作れていない。
They don't have full control over the micro singularity's gravity, so they can't make a true naked singularity. Yeah, because a naked singularity is established right over here to be like the main thing that would allow us to use a time machine, you know, in a way that would have that person reach their destination, whether in perfect shape or jellified. That's to be like, it depends on perfecting the naked singularity. They like, while we are able to send somebody, like CERN is able to send somebody through like their time machine with the naked singularity, when they reach like the other destination, like imperfect shape, like all jellified and such, it means that they have not perfected like the naked singularity thing. Like, that's why they are trying to reach the true naked singularity in order to not have a person jellified on the other end.
そのせいで被験者がゼリーマンになっていると見るべきだな。
Yeah. Kurisu nuts.
裸の特異点が作れていないなら、つまり被験者はブラックホールに放り込まれるのと同じだから、突入するだけで凄まじい質量によって押しつぶされるに決まってる。
The singularity is still closed, and the subject is crushed by its tremendous gravity. Yeah, so it's semi-closed. Like, I think it's a matter of they are not capable of keeping it open for long. They keep it open long enough for a person to enter, but then the singularity closes and then it crushes them. And then at some point it opens up again to release them on the other destination, like all jellified. Like, maybe it's a case of they're not capable of keeping it like open for very long, or it just alternates between two states. They're not capable of keeping like the singularity in a perfect state for long. Like it keeps closing and opening, that it will crush the subject.
その結果、あらゆる物質がフラクタル構造になってしまったという仮説を提示してみる。実際はどうなってるのかさっぱり。調べるだけで何ヶ月もかかりそう。
Kurisu shrugs her shoulders in resignation.
リフターはまだ未完成か。
If Taro is telling the truth, then CERN won't complete their time machine for another 24 years. Yeah, that's what I was saying, because they failed for so much, and only by 2030 they finally managed to complete this. So their problem is with the creation of this lifter. And I guess for that main, they're saying case for our phone wave instead of the change. It has like a broken / non-perfected lifter inside. Or Rintaro's phone. I don't know.
つまり俺たちが先に電話レンジカッコ仮を完成させればセルンを出し抜くことも可能というわけだ。
Yeah.
規模が全然違う。それにセルンでさえ完成させていないのにあんたにできるわけないでしょ。これは簡単に解決できる問題じゃない。そもそも時間移動調整や時間跳躍後の場所指定の問題もセルンは解決できてないし、ジェリーマンの発見時期や発見場所がバラバラなのも納得だわ。
True.
例えば地の底とか宇宙空間とかに放り出されたゼリーマンもいるかもしれない。見つかってるゼリーマン以外にもね。というかその可能性は限りなく 100% に近い。
Christ, you are right about that. Holy Christ. Like, there could be more than likely some reports in there that would say that they found somewhere in the world like a jellyman that is like crushed on ground, meaning that they probably got transported all jellified in the air and then it splat on the air, like on the ground. And there's also more than likely jellymen like inside the ground or in space. Christ.
地球から何万キロも離れた宇宙空間に放り出されたらタイムトラベルしても無意味。全く実用的じゃないわ。
Unless, that would be quite insane if we were to perfect, well, maybe not perfect, but like the lifter is built good enough that the person would not be jellified, but the whole thing with time and space is still needed to be resolved, so you'd still be randomly teleported at some point in time and space. What if you were to be teleported to like a completely different planet out there in the universe, in a very advanced planet with aliens and technology, where you would be able to survive as long as the aliens don't eat you, or as long as they accept you as one of their own. That would be quite something.
可変重力ロックシステムというようなものがあるとタイターは言っていた。それによって地球の重力を捉え、必ず地球がある場所に到着できるようになると。
Variable gravity lock system. He did mention that.
タイターの説明はその点については曖昧だわ。そういう機会があるというだけじゃ説明にはならない。
でも時間移動したら同じ場所に出るだけじゃないの？
出るわけないでしょ。
なんで？
地球は常に動き続けているからだ。
そう、自転と公転。地球の自転速度は時速にしてだいたい1650キロ。
You know what? That's a good point. Sounds so easy.
公転速度は時速で考えるとおよそ11万4000キロ。1時間前にいた座標から私たちはそれだけ離れることになる。
Hold on. 1650 kilometers per hour. Orbital velocity around the sun is about... Christ, no wonder. There would more than likely be cases where people are sent into freaking space. Like, that would be the easiest error to make. In fact, when you think about it, it's kind of surprising that one would be sent, like in time, in space, and still end up on Earth. That's why you need, like, perfect calculations and such. Christ.
おお、そう考えると僕たちってテラハヤス。
So, no wonder. When you time travel, you have to send them at the right space as well. You are literally sending someone to a different location, even though technically you want them to be sent to the exact same location.
それだけじゃない。地球を含む太陽系はミルキーウェイに属してる。ミルキーウェイは渦を巻いているところからわかる通り回転してるのよ。諸説あるけど、だいたい1日に5000万キロぐらい地球が移動する速さでね。
How can she roll all those numbers so smoothly off her tongue? Probably because she worked with those numbers like so much up until now. Faris? Have you bought Phantasm's debut single yet? It's the theme song for Ariakey, so it's really popular. Faris bought 5 copies now. It's my duty as a Ryanator. Anyway, there's an important secret hidden in Phantasm's songs. The key to unlocking it is... Oops, the bell's ringing, yeah. Looks like someone's here. Better see who it is. No! Tell me the secret! I'm aware they are said to contain directions to the sanctuary, as well as prophecies regarding the end of the world. Isn't that right? Operation Stupidify Humanity? Stupidify. You know, whenever I hear that word, it kind of reminds me of Stupefy, which reminds me of that one Harry Potter spell, which, you know, sounds kind of like a stupid name for a spell. Like, it's a from what I remember, it's like a attack spell, right? Why do you call it like a Stupefy? Sounds kind of stupid when I think about it. Anyway, important secrets. I wanna talk about this a little bit more. Alright. I get that she's a genius, but it's hardly common knowledge. Has she been doing research on the topic? More than likely.
なんかもうスケールが途方もないぞな。
ついでに言うと、ミルキーウェイを含む複数の銀河で銀河群が形成されているし、さらに上のグループとして超銀河団っていうのもある。それらの銀河群も超銀河団も動いているかもしれないわけ。そうなるとさらに飛躍的に私たちの移動距離は伸びる。いずれにせよ、ほんの1秒前に飛ぼうとするだけでも膨大な局所場指定の計算が必要になるのよ。手動じゃ無理だし、同じ場所に移動しようと思ったらスパコンで計算したって解が出るまでに何年かかるか。
ならば仕方あるまい。ダイターを探し出し、その可変重力システムを借りようではないか。
それは明暗ね。せいぜい頑張って。この問題についてセルンはどうしようとしてるのかな。
I mean, you know, even if we are to know about these variables about the universe and how fast we are going, is it like a constant speed? Or is it like a speed that changes? Whether we are talking about like 50,000 kilometers or whatever per hour. We're moving even more than 50 kilometers a year when it comes to clusters and superclusters and all that. Because if it were like a constant speed, that would make sense, but I don't think that's even the case to begin with, so how would you even calculate that kind of speed at the exact moment? How would you be able to observe such thing? And even then, wouldn't you have to take into account, like, God, you would have to know the rate at which the universe is expanding to begin with, right? Can't say that I know about that sort of stuff, but it sounds kind of an impossible thing to do. I'm gonna have to apologize, but I'm also eating right now. As I said in the past, there are gonna be times when I'm gonna have to record some stuff, and well, the only times I can do that, sometimes it will be when I have to eat as well. After blowing me off, Kurisu goes back to reading Steins' documents. Daryl and I aren't good with English, so there's nothing we can do but let her work. Dawn breaks. We stayed up all night again. Fighting drowsiness, I refilled my mug with instant coffee. I've already lost count of how many I've had.
Okabe.
Kurisu hands her mug to me without looking away from the computer. I guess she expects me to refill it. Since when did I become her maid? She should ask Mayuri for stuff like this. Mayuri is a professional maid after all. Well, she's not here, so you are the next best thing. That said, Chris is the one reading Steins' documents right now. Daryl and I can manage if we use translation software, but we're nowhere near as efficient as she is. Well, it's not exactly what I had in mind when I said I wanted to borrow her knowledge. It just goes to show that I was right to make her a lab man. She's an asset to the lab. For now, at least, I should try not to upset her. I silently take the mug from Kurisu, dump in the powdered coffee, and pour in hot water from the pot. 2 packets of sugar, no milk. Kurisu has already requested it the same way 5 times today. I mix it well and bring it over to Kurisu. She doesn't immediately realize I'm standing behind her, so I hold the mug in front of her face. Kurisu takes it without turning.
Arigato.
Her eyes never leave the screen. She's completely absorbed in Steins' research. Even though she was adamant when she called them traitors or to scientists everywhere, she's not above picking their praise. But I understand how she feels. I'm itching to know more myself. Daryl is fast asleep on the sofa. His snoring is quite loud. Furthermore, it's not like he has sleep apnea. I'm surprised Kurisu has been able to ignore it. Is she just that focused? I wish I were that focused. I decided to watch some TV. As always, the news channels are all covering the Radican satellite crash.
人工衛星墜落から5日が経過した秋葉原ですが、夏休みシーズンに入ったということもあり、放置されたままの人工衛星を一目見ようと多くの人が詰めかけています。名古屋から来ました。一目見たくて。
埼玉から車で。すごいですね。あれ一体どこの人工衛星なんですかね。
イエーイ、千葉の女子高生です。
というように日本全国からわざわざ駆けつける人もいるようです。一方、今日未明 NASA アメリカ航空宇宙局のスポークスマンマイケル・バーン氏は会見で、日本に人工衛星が墜落した事実はないと語り、墜落した物体が人工衛星以外の物体であることを示唆しました。警察によりますと、墜落した人工衛星については現在調査中であり、撤去する時期のめどは立っていないとのことです。
Again, I'm eating, and I finally finished swallowing. So, like, I'm thinking about this, cause spokesman for NASA, that no satellite had crashed in Japan, and that the crashed object was in fact not even a satellite. You know, if I'm to think in conspiracy mentality right over here, they wouldn't be saying such a thing. They would say that it is a satellite that crashed and all that. If I'm to think that the government is hiding something, but no, they're denying that it is even a satellite, so, Now, thinking about it this way, if it's not a satellite and thinking that it could be like a time machine, Why is it that it has those panels? Does it run on solar energy? Why? And then again, I don't even know what the purpose of that is to begin with in space. This could be another plot by the organization.
てってるー、おはよう。あれ、あ、こんにちはかな。
The door unlocks from outside and Mayuri comes in. She has a convenience store bag in hand. Part-time warrior. No. Speaking of this whole thing, we replied to Shining Finger about it and the whole. You can visit our lab if you want to see it, but no touching. And we even gave her the address. You would think that she would just come bolting in right here by now, but not yet. Part-time warrior, Suzuka. So hungry. I had to skip breakfast again today. I don't have much money on hand. Are there any good places to find insects or weeds around here? I can get by using my survival skills if I have to. Jesus. You eat insects. Hardcore. Dude. What kind of childhood did you have? You know, I'm pretty curious about this. Did she live in a jungle at some point? Okay. I'm not taking these like super seriously. There are various food items inside, but it doesn't look like they are for us.
うわー、なんかね、ズズーンっていう重い空気が漂ってるよ。
By the way, Kurisu, be careful. You're gonna see the wrath of Mayuri because of you using the banana. The three of us probably look pretty haggard since we stayed up all night. But it's hard to put on a bright smile now that I know about Sir.
空気入れ替えるね。
Mayuri opens the window wide. The sky is so blue, it hurts my eyes. Large clouds listlessly drift on the wind. The light! It truly is a refreshing sight. Mayuri's appearance makes Daru get up with a grimace. Kurisu also finally moves away from the computer, sipping her foot. Was that? Did I just say foot there for a second? Her foot coffee. Oh, what do you? Okay, her hot coffee while rubbing her eyes. I glance at the clock, then go to the center of the room and call for attention.
いい機会だ。ラボメンが全員集合したところだし、久々に円卓会議を開こうと思う。
円卓会議？
なんぞそれ。
ラボメンによる報告会。ミーティングだ。
そんなのこれまでにやったことあったっけ？
そもそも円卓なんてどこにあるのよ。
実物はない。だが我らラボメンの心の中にはある。そうだろう。
そうだろ？じゃなかろうが、勝手に人の心の中に変なもの持たせないで。
マユシーにもあるかな？
ああ、あるさ。
そっか、よかった。でも円卓って何？
てかなんで円卓？アーサー王？
そもそも私はラボメンといっても期間限定だし。
Jesus freaking Christ, man. Just humor Rintaro for a second. At least Mayuri has the right idea, I guess. These people whine about every little thing. Jesus Christ. I'm a Chinubyo, goddammit. Work with me here.
とにかく円卓会議だ。マイリは昨日の夜はいなかったので、ひとまず今の俺たちの置かれた状況を教えておく。
I tell Mayuri about everything we discovered in her absence. About how CERN is making a time machine. About Jellyman. Hey, Mayuri, can you offer us your opinion on Jellyman? About how many might be coming to erase us for what we know.
悪いことは良くないよって言ったのに。
悪いだと？ 俺たちが？何をバカな。それを言うならばセルンの方がよほど悪。世界だけでは飽き足らず、時空までも手に入れようと企んでいる連中だ。
同意するわ。
For some reason, Kurisu backs me up.
セルンのやってることは社会的にも人間的にも、そして研究者としても許されることじゃない。
そうだけど。
She doesn't sound convinced. I didn't want to get Mayuri involved, but she's surprisingly perceptive. She'd find out even if we kept it a secret, so it's better to just tell her.
いずれにせよこれで我がラボとセルンとのラグナロックは避けられなくなった。
A large part of me is still afraid, but we've come too far to back down now. We can't unlearn what we know.
ラグナロック？
また北欧神話か。
クリスティーナ、お前にはセルン調査について命じていたな。何か新たに分かったことは？
命じられた覚えはないけどね。セルンがタイムトラベルにおいて抱えている問題点は2つ。1つは電子注入装置リフターの調整。これがうまく機能しないとカーブラックホールの特異点を裸にできない。この状態で特異点を通過しようとすれば、超重力によって被験者はミクロレベルまで圧縮されてしまう。当然無事ではいられないわ。それとタイムトラベル先の局所場指定ができないことが2点目。特異点を抜けてどこへ出るかの指定ができない。だから各地で見つかっている14人のゼリーマンはむしろ運がいい方だったと言うべき。人体実験は2001年から100回以上行われていた。つまり残りの80人以上はどこへ飛ばされたのかすら確認できていないということ。
Damn. Over 100.
なんで確認できないの？
まあ言うし、そんなことも知らんの？地球は常に動いてるんだよ。自転速度は時速にして1500キロ、公転速度は11万4000キロで。
Daru's tone is authoritative, but she's just relaying what he heard from Krisu last night.
セルンはその2点について解を模索してるみたいだけど、うまくいってないみたい。
So even CERN is having difficulties.
それで助手よ。セルンのタイムマシンから電話レンジカッコ仮のヒントになるようなものは見つかったか？
ヒントね。
Krisu stares at the ceiling in thought. Which makes me question, is there such an equivalent to the lifter inside the phone wave that we are not even aware of?
そもそも LHC は世界一巨大な電子レンジなんて異名もあるぐらいだけど。
そうか。つまり電話レンジカッコ仮は LHC の縮小版ということだな。
Oh. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the platform inside the microwave oven, like it rotates in order to heat it up and all that. Kind of the same thing as when you send like a particle, like in circle, except that in the LHC's case, assuming that what I'm saying is correct, if not you can correct me on this as well, but in order for protons to collide into one another, one proton or slash particle goes in one direction in a circle, and the other particle would go in the complete opposite direction, and then they would collide when they meet. Maybe the same thing is happening like inside the microwave oven. The platform moves the object in one direction, but maybe in a way it kind of moves backwards as well. Wait, so are you saying that if we were to insert like one banana inside 2 instances of the same banana would be created at that point to create the not naked singularity, the regular singularity slash black hole that would enable it to time travel? Am I making sense right over here?
あながち間違ってないかもね。
I was sure she'd deny it. In fact, I thought she'd yell at me. Instead, she agreed with me. Froze me off a little.
もっとも電話レンジはわからないことが多すぎる。なんでセルンのタイムマシンと同じような現象をあの小さな電子レンジで起こせるのか。
Beats me.
LHC と違ってこれはタイムトラベルのために作られたものじゃないのよ。
マユシーの唐揚げを温めるためのものだよね。
Indeed.
まあそうね。
少なくともゼリーマンという現象が電話レンジカッコ仮でも起きているのだから、マユリのバナナはカーブラックホールのリング上得意点に到達していると考えるべきだ。
Yeah.
ブラックホールができてるの？ここに？吸い込まれないかな？
If it sucked us in, we'd become jellymen too.
でも放電現象の仕組みや発生条件が解明できてない。
この前の実験だと放電現象が起きた時にだけ過去へメールを送れたお。
Imagine this, Mayuri. You know how when you have a banana stay in one place for long without getting eaten, you would form like black spots? Those are the black holes, Mayuri. You have to be careful. You have to eat your bananas before black holes are created on a banana, I guess.
まだ2度しか成功していないが、その放電現象が意味するのは電荷、すなわち電子注入の可能性が高い。それが発生した時だけ得意点への道が開けるのだ。
放電現象の原因はわからないじゃない。
I mean, imagine like such a funny moment where Mayuri would notice the bananas, would point and scream at the others. Black hole! And it's just like a bunch of black spots on the banana.
それはこれから調べる。
そもそも過去へ送れるメールはデジタルデータであって物体じゃないわ。そこがセルンのタイムマシンと決定的に違っている。
True. I mean, at the end of the day, what is digital? It's a bunch of electric signals, right? It's... would that be easy to... like, what? It is clearly different from like a physical object. I mean, even electrical signals are made of particles. Is it a matter of how many particles there are in an object that would make it like easier or more difficult to send it back in time, maybe?
いや、やることは同じだ。デジタルデータが得意点を通り抜けないと誰か保証したのか？人間サイズの物体を通り抜けさせるよりよほど簡単だと思うが。
I'd say so too.
まあ確かに。
メールって言うから混乱するんだと思うな。本物の紙飛行機にした手紙がピューンって飛んでいくイメージなんだよ、きっと。
Pay attention, folks. Pay attention. This is 100% certainty. This is 100% certainty because it's Mayuri. She, at some point, she's gonna say something that may sound silly for comedic purposes, but at some point she's gonna be a gold mine in terms of solving something. I bet your fucking ass.
むしろ光線だろう。光デジタルデータみたいな。ところで、過去へ送れるメールは言いにくいな。名前をつけようではないか。
またカッコつけ？
Email sent back in time and space. ST mail? Christ, it sounds like something STD related. PS mail? Snail?
またとか言うな。この法王院教魔をバカにしているのか。
どうせへんてこな名前をつけたいんでしょ。
変ってことは失敬だな。ならば発表しよう。俺はこの過去へ送れるメールという現象についてこう名付けた。その名もノスタルジアドライブ。
わかりにくい。却下。
貴様、助手の分際で却下できる権限があると思っているのか。
じゃあ多数決する？ノスタルジアドライブに賛成の人。
I mean, I'm not vibing with the name. But nobody follows suit.
裏切ったな、ダルマユリ。
クリスちゃんの言う通りだと思うな。マユシーはそんな長い名前は覚えられません。
Of course. You don't want to know, Lamau. Okay.
中二病すぎだろ上皇。
Traitors!
ならばお前たちには自分で考えたとっておきのネーミングがあるのだろうな。まさか我が案を否定しておいてノープランとは言わせんぞ。
やっぱり分かりやすさ重視にすべきだと思う。時間を遡っているメールなんだからそこをメールでいいんじゃない？
Email sent to the past. P-mail. Retro mail.
そこってどういう意味？
Like when I say P-mail, it sounds like you're like we're sending like P in the form of mail in the past. That would be kind of rude. The most technologically advanced kind of insult that one could ever create in life. Like you send somebody like P in the form of a mail to somebody else in the future or the past as a form of insult. Christ. Mayuri is busy eating strawberry jelly. How can she eat that stuff after hearing about jelly, man?
今のマユリの反応が答えだ、クリスティーナ。わかりやすい名前をつけるべきと言っておきながら、ちっともわかりやすくないではないか。
それはマユリさんが。なんでもない。
Yeah,
もしか
that's
して
right.
今、マユリがバカだからと言おうとしたか？
違うわよ。
クリスちゃん、マユシーのことバカだと思ってるのかな？
思ってない。全くこれっぽっちも思ってないから誤解しないで。
Somehow Kurisu manages to glare at me even while shooting Mayuri.
時をかけるメールの一択だろう。
Is that a reference to something, Daru? Is that another JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference?
少し表現が硬いな。言いにくい。
オカリンのノスタルなんとかだって十分長いじゃんか。それにこれは映画のタイトルを。
It's nostalgia drive. Like, I'm not saying that it's difficult to read. I'm saying it's just sounds kind of weird. Like we're sending nostalgia in time? No.
ロマンがあればいいのだ、ロマンが。
そんな理由で却下かよ。
あ、トゥットゥルー、マユシーも思いついたよ。
Alright.
バックトゥーザメール、映画のタイトルとね、メールをくっつけてみました。
マユシ、映画のタイトルネタはもう僕がやったって。
Yeah, then it's too long of a word. How about Mayuri, Daru? How about we make these the name of the project, and the mission to understand mail sent back in time phenomena that is happening. We call that what is it that you said, Mayuri? Back to the mail, or something like that. But not the name of what we sent in the past.
それに意味が微妙に違ってきてると思う。